Your path to intuition is acknowledging your inner wisdom. That is the subject we are talking about in the upcoming 13 days. And I will walk you through the frequency that we are experiencing right now. I am opening here my Mayan Calendar app so I can um, guide you further. So, before we start, I would like to explain a little bit. Doing these readings for you guys is more or less a translation work. So, it's my interpretation of what I understand from what I studied in this process of getting along with the Mayan calendar or 13 moon calendar, law of time. There are many names for it. And this is also my own perspective on things. I invite you not only in this video, but all the videos in the series I'm doing about the Wavespell to really connect with the names perhaps I will bring to you that represent the seals. For example, today we are starting the energy of the wizard and question what does it mean to you, because in this tool that is the Mayan calendar, one of the things that I appreciate the most is to give space for my own voice and start to validate what I think about things rather than just catching what other people are saying and assimilating it as the ultimate truth. So be open, curious to what is going to be said today, but also question everything that I say, because perhaps for you it will have a different meaning. Also, what happens in the Mayan calendar tool is that we are talking about polarities. What I bring to you here is what would be this description of this frequency when balanced and aligned, but here in duality we experience the opposites. And so perhaps when I say, the energy of this archetype is the disattachment, meaning that when this energy is out of balance, it goes to the other side, which is pure attachment. And so keep also that in mind, because if you perceive yourself going to extremes, it's just giving you this measurement that perhaps you are polarizing too much to one extreme and should make your way back to the center if possible. And also, these readings of the 13 days is just a cycle represented in the Tzolkin, but it can also, when you study it, it can also represent 13-year cycle, and also can represent a year, one entire cycle that the earth makes around the sun, no? So this 365 days that we are also being under a frequency. And today we are starting this frequency that is represented by the white magnetic wizard. This is also the frequency that we are being influenced this whole year, that actually started from 26th of July and goes till the next 26th of July 2024. And this is also very different. What I bring to you here, with time you can learn to do it by yourself. You can find the wave spell that you were born, for example, and understand not only the cycles we are navigating during the year, but also in your personal cycle. And this is very different also when I do a reading for a person, because when I do a reading, I am looking to the life purpose of that person that is also based on the wave spell, but how does these energies, like individually, are affecting the finances and relationships, spirituality, and so on. Okay, just a quick explanation for you if you never got in touch with these concepts. And so let's get started. When we talk about wizard, what comes to your mind? Gandalf, maybe. For me, it comes a lot this image of the tarot. The magician is this archetype that carries a lot of knowledge. It knows how to deal with the elements very well, and it has everything at your disposal. And so, because he knows how to deal with the elements, he can create anything. And by having everything, this character, this archetype is very, very, very confident. And these 13 days, we are really being called to level up our confidence, even if it's true, fake it until you make it. But it is a very high frequency, and it also talks a lot about getting in touch of all the wisdom, all the knowledge you already have inside of you. If you look at the if you look here in the Mayan calendar, the archetype of the magnetic wizard, it has the eyes and the mouth closed with the third eye open, and it has this face of appreciation. And this is because the wizard also talks about the enchantment. When you look at things not by the outside, but by their essence, you allow yourself to find appreciation for everything. Perhaps it's easier to do it when you go out in the nature, and if you ever had an experience of wild animals, they really have this, also with plants, with trees especially. There are some trees that are quite magical. And if you really observe these animals, they really give you this quality of their essence, and it's really easy to connect with the sense of appreciation. And by the way, this is a very interesting exercise. If you could go out in the nature for the next days by yourself, don't need to do anything super wild, but just allow yourself to quiet the mind and observe. Could be observation of leaves on the floor, or really little wild animals, squirrels. Here in Germany, at least, they are all out and about at the moment, and it's really easy to see one of them. These next 13 days, we are also receiving this opening of our psychic abilities. And because of that, perhaps you will feel you're more sensible, more sensitive to your surroundings. And because we are also during the waning moon, would be interesting if you could cultivate more time for yourself, some introspection, perhaps for studying, but especially really trying to bring from inside out your feelings, your expectations, your desires. What is it there that is boiling, that wants to come out from you to the world? It's really a time to connect with your own voice. The intuition is like the 60 sense. And on the opposite of the other five that are very in your face, like you can touch, you can feel the taste, you can see, the intuition is like a muscle, is something that you have to really develop and make space for. And the more you start to make space for your intuition, the more you start to trust it, and the more you allow yourself to be guided through it. And if you connect with the idea that you have a guidance that is yourself in another level, that already knows your path, that already knows everything that's about to happen, when you open space to connect with this intuition, basically you are in allowance, and you are allowing yourself being guided in the best scenario, in the best possibility. You are being a match, vibrational match for guidance, really. And connect with this gift of receiving this 13 days that's starting today, November 3rd to, I'm checking here, until the 15th of November, yeah? So during these 13 days, just make some room. What if I can just try my intuition a little bit more than I'm used to? Just wake up with this intention of connecting with your intuition. And even if it's still while you are lying down your bed, before you open your eyes, just simply do this intention. Make this intention that is, I want to connect with my inner voice, I want to connect with myself, with my inner knowledge, and be surprised by how life unfolds from your pure intention. And on the challenge of this wave spell, we have the eagle. And the eagle represents an energy that is very rational but have a clear vision. The wizard is this archetype that can access different time and space, like Gandalf, remember, perhaps, or there are so many characters in the movies that we can relate to. They are always coming and going the appropriate moment. And so when you have a very extended, unlimited possibilities, perhaps it's a bit tricky to focus and want to take and grab only one and use it on your favor. And this is exactly what the eagle does. The eagle rarely misses a prey. It's almost impossible because they have such a focus, such a clear vision. They go straight on the target. And if I can give you an example of what I'm trying to talk about, that I see at least very clear in my life, is observing the generations. When I look to the generation of my grandmother, it's not that people back then were conformed, but they kind of knew what to expect from life. They would grow up, they would have a job that sometimes was not even something that they could choose from. They could just have this one job and they didn't question because there was no possibility. And not that their life was good or bad, it simply was. And nowadays, with the younger generations, I feel that they are having a lot of trouble, a lot of anxiety in choosing what they want to do because there are so many more possibilities, so many other professions that didn't exist back then. And now they can do anything and everything. Or it's the same when you go to a restaurant and you have a menu that has 30 pages. I don't know about you, but I feel like I just want to close and leave because I cannot really decide what is it. I just want, I just want a meal. I don't want to be here trapped in this 30 pages menu. So this is what we are being challenged in this upcoming 13 days, to really do not get distracted by situations that don't matter at the moment. Just stay present. And that's also a very strong aspect of this wave spell, to be in the present moment. When you are feeling too much anxiety and you're feeling anxious, is because you are projecting in the future too much and you are not being in the here and now, where you are safe and sound, most likely, unless you are going through a very problematic situation of aggression or something like this. Mostly our fears, they come from the projections of the future, and our sorrows, they come from the regrets and things that were in the past. And so once again, because we are in the waning moon, this is also a very appropriate moment to look at our shadows, to look to this darkness inside of us and really take the time to clear that up and to let go of this side of us that we don't want to look at. But it's important in order to have a clear vision, a neutralized vision that is not projecting. We have to clear the mirror first, right? So in order to have a not a distorted image. And the way to serve in this wave spell in the 13 days is through the energy of the warrior. How can you better serve the world? How can things be done in a different way, in a better way? To not take things as granted as they are, to be content as they are, but just really question what can be improved, how can it be done in a better way, and so on. And then we have the energy of the earth that talks about synchronicities, about doing things one step at a time with persistence. And the last wave spell, we had this energy of the dragon that talks a lot about the fire element and how we bring things to the world. And sometimes we have this very strong impulse to start things and then we drop it in the middle of the way. We just lose the motivation, things start to get a little bit hard, and then I don't want to do it anymore. And this energy of the self-existent earth is really telling us to remain firm and focused where we want to arrive, so we can be persistent and not once again get distracted by life, by the situations, and really keeping the mind on why we started things in the first place, and the way that we irradiate our intention. Also, in this cycle, it's very important to connect with the idea of getting the bottom of things, to the truth of things. If we are serving by questioning how things work, by questioning, you will get answers, and you have to have the courage to deal with the truth, to deal with it. And it doesn't need to be hard, it doesn't have to be painful. You just have to be aware that Sometimes life doesn't bring you exactly what you want, but what you need. And this is a very fortunate moment to take the situations that perhaps will be a bit of a surprise and integrate all the learnings that this situation is trying to bring you. Connect, remember to connect inwards and really question, okay, what is it trying to tell me? The way we gain the rhythm and organize our lives during these 13 days is by understanding that anything is really fixed. Life is a constant change, and we have to learn how to adapt, how to be flexible, and to do the transformations that are being required. It's a very good moment to do a deep cleansing in not only inside of yourself, but in your routine, in your wardrobe. It's very interesting because I think the energy of the end of the year already makes it easy to just, do a cleansing moment. And this is a very good moment to do that, to reformulate the way we spend our days, that we um, make our routine, especially. Perhaps it is asking you to change for a while, and now is the very good moment to do that. And then the way we will be more open, and a way to receive guidance here during these 13 days is really keeping connected with your strengths. Remember, the wizard is this person, this character that has a lot of self confidence because it doesn't try to be good at everything, but it shows where its strength is, his strength is. And so, where is your strength? What are you good at? Don't be shy to assume to the world that you are good at something. Sometimes we associate this um, acknowledgement of our strengths with a bit of vanity, but it's not this. When you understand you are unique and you have importance, you are playing an important role here, you get in your genius area, and then you can expand it to the world, because the world needs you, needs your medicine, needs these gifts that you only you can bring to it. And then we have the galactic dragon that is asking you, okay, what did I start since last 20 days that I dropped on the way, or what are the things that I started that I'm still happy with and that I want to continue with? And really bringing your awareness to, okay, now I know with more clarity what I really should put my focus, my attention, and really make space to nourish it, to bring the correct conditions so it can grow. And here we have the wind that will talk about the power of our intention. It doesn't matter if you are in front of the person telling her beautiful things and using beautiful words, but behind her back you are throwing your venom, your poison. And so the power of intention is to really act with coherence, with what you think, what you feel, and what you say, or what and how you act. Because the intention behind the things, the way you do the things, is what really matters, is what really counts. This is what connects you with the frequency. And perhaps you can try to persuade somebody with words, but if you don't really mean that, the energy speaks louder, okay? So it's not gonna work. Perhaps it works for a while, but in the end, the truth will come to the surface, and then you have to deal with the consequences of it. Then we have the planetary seal that is here represented by the knight. And what it does is that we once again have to clear away all of these parts of us ourselves that we are not so comfortable with, all the anger, all the sorrow. What is it that is there occupying a space that is not allowing you to connect with the truth, to connect with love, to be a more loving person? And once you clear that, you can manifest you have more clarity to manifest from your heart, from your essence. Oh, I just noticed the sun was in my face, so I'll come a bit far here. We have the spectral seed, and what is it calling us for is that in order to accomplish our purpose of the intuition, of being present, of appreciation, we have to connect with our inner potential. We need to make space and make room for our all the potential we carry inside of us that we bring from other experiences, other lives, if you believe in it, and understanding that everything you learned has a purpose not only for yourself, but you can use that to share with other people. And by sharing the knowledge that you already have, you help others to do the same and to empower other people to do the same. And then talking about empowerment, here in the Crystal Tone, we are called to share these memories that we have that are really deep inside of us, that talks about instinct. And once again, when we talk about instinct, we are really talking about the senses once again. Is this memory inside of our body that is faster than the thought? Is just there, and you can, you know, we are such a domesticated animals, but it's still there. When we are in a very dangerous situation, we don't think, we just react, right? And when we share this knowledge that we have deep down in ourselves that we carry, that is automatic, and we make space for this impulse really to come to the surface, we are helping other people to grow as well. We are giving the chance for people to learn from your experiences without having to go through burdens themselves. Some people will not learn until they burn their hand in the fire, right? They will not learn the fire is dangerous until they do it. But if you can advise and look, this way, I already tried and I burned my hand, most likely, perhaps not all of them, but somebody will understand this message and will take it. And just be aware of these gifts that you already have there, the things that are easy for you to make, that you have, the things that you do that are very natural, they just flow through you. Perhaps if it's with crafts, perhaps by cooking, perhaps is being good with taking care of animals or taking care of kids. What is it that is there that is so it's instinctive for you to do, and that could be helping other people with your experiences and really be more service for the community? How could you use your strengths in the favor of others? And the list, we have the cosmic word bridger. And this archetype talks about detachment, really talks about letting go of the ego, letting go of your ideas, your fixed ideas of what you think about things, because once again, life is always changing, and what it meant yesterday perhaps is not the same that it means today. The world is always changing and we have to update. So don't be attached to these ideas and to the concepts you thought, I already, about this subject, I got already know everything about it. No, there's always room for learning. And just as we are still learning with kids, right? We think that I'm an adult, I already know everything about life, and then you meet a kid, and then the kid starts to really bring you some questions and making you rethink, and surprise you the way their creativity and the way they see the world, and for sure bring some insight. So even if you are a dinosaur in some subject, really, there is always a room to learn, and it's important to be flexible, especially have a flexible mind and be open minded. Your ideas, they are not a thread for your identity. Your ideas, they are not a thread for your identity. Your ideas are just ideas, and when you let go of them, for some people, they feel like when I give up of my ideas, of my concepts, I am killing a bit of myself. But believe me, your essence is much bigger than simple concepts that we can formulate during this lifetime. And no, you're not gonna die by letting go of some of them, updating some of them. Okay, there's always room for improvement. Don't be attached to what is today. Just be in the present moment. So that is my reading of the upcoming 13 days. I hope you have enjoyed it, that it brought some insights, some questionings. And if you have any questions, you can write down in the comments. And I'm more present on my Instagram, that's at Get in the Flow with MW in the end. So if you like this kind of content, you can find me there. And I will come back later on to bring the energy healing for these 13 days. And yeah, so see you guys soon. Have a nice 13-day cycle. Bye.